It's board installation Shabbat. This is very exciting. I think this is, at least to my knowledge, this is a fairly new Adat Shalom tradition, or perhaps because it's new, we can call it a custom. As far as I know, it started last year. And last year, we installed new officers of our board of directors. Okay, so quick sidebar, pop quiz. We're going to have some fun here this morning. What are the offices of the board? And who are the officers in those roles? Okay, we got President Marla Knoll. Here we go, that's one. Executive Vice President Olivia Goodkin. Treasurer Alana Dixon, and in absentia? Secretary Lorene Hall. Okay, excellent. So last year we installed these new officers of the board. Our officers don't renew or change each year. All our officers are continuing their terms, which is very exciting. Next year we'll have some new officers to install or some new terms to renew. We'll go back to that format that we saw last year. But this year is a little bit different. Presents a new opportunity. It's going to be a little bit of a different format. Here we go. So we have 3 new board members to install this year. We have Charlie Levine, we have Soraya Harunian, and we have Bobby Rahmanian. Mazal tov, mazal tov, mazal tov. I reached out to all of them in advance of this board installation Shabbat to chat with them a little bit, congratulate and thank them, and to get their perspective on stepping into this new role. So there were a couple of common threads in these conversations. First and foremost, a genuine and heartfelt enthusiasm and a desire to be of service to the community, this perspective of anything I can do to help, I'm there, which we love. And second, there was a little, awareness that we're getting ourselves into something, but what are we getting ourselves into exactly, right? This is common for new experiences, but in this particular case, being on the board of directors of a synagogue, there's a little bit of a hold on to your hats, fasten your seatbelts, you're in for an adventure feeling to it, which is a good thing. It's a very good thing. Okay, so part of what we're going to do here this morning, not just for our new board members, but for all of us in the community, is to speak a little bit about what exactly it is that a board of directors does. There are many of us here this morning who have already served on boards of directors and on our Adat Shalom board specifically, but there are also many of us here this morning who have not yet served on a board and really don't have any idea what that sort of community service is about. And some of us who have no idea what it's about aren't really going to ask the question, right? And as a rabbi, as a teacher, I think it's a beautiful, unique, and important opportunity to step into learning and to answer the questions that people don't know the answers to and might be a little bit reluctant to ask. Because when that happens, the information that used to be unknown and becomes known is actually really important. Bringing it to light is helpful, it's empowering. So if you listen to what I'm about to say over the next few moments and you think, I know all of this already, that's wonderful. You can fact check everything I say. I look forward to all the corrections I'll receive at Kiddush. But please know that there are people who don't know any of what I'm about to say and might be a little reluctant to ask. And I see it as my responsibility to help start our learning process together. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start with the quotes from a Google AI overview, because that's how we do things these days. Here we go. Board members oversee an organization's governance, strategy, and financial health. Board members provide high-level direction by hiring senior staff, ensuring legal compliance, and safeguarding assets. They set goals, approve budgets, manage risks, and ensure the organization stays true to its mission and values. Okay, so let's break this down. Let's look a little bit more at the core responsibilities. First, governance and strategy. Board members set the organization's mission, vision, and strategic goals and provide guidance on major decisions. Next, senior staff oversight. Board members hire and support the senior staff, in our case, the executive director and the senior rabbi. Financial stewardship. This is very important, and I think this is the one that we're most aware of for those of us who spend time in board meetings. Approving budgets, ensure adequate resources, monitor financial activities, and protect assets. Then we have risk management. This is also something, unfortunately, over the past couple of years, we've had lots of opportunity to engage with. Identifying, assessing, and mitigating risks to finances, operations, which is really where we've been focused, unfortunately, since October 7th, reputation also, and legal status. And then, of course, legal and ethical compliance, which, as a religious and spiritual organization, we definitely want to make sure we're ensuring that we're following laws, regulations, ethical standards. And last, and certainly not least, acharon chaviv, stakeholder representation, advocating for constituents, that is members, all of you, including those who join us virtually, and ensuring accountability. So one word summary, this is leadership. It's leadership in relationships towards members and towards staff. It's leadership in laws and in finances, making sure our resources are robust and our operations are always above board. And it's leadership in vision and mission, knowing where we're going and making sure we're getting there. Okay, so this is all looking pretty abstract. How do we implement this? What do board members actually have to do? What are the specific actions they take? I'm glad you asked. Okay, so key duties of board members, here we go. Attending and actively participating in board meetings. This includes doing your part to support things starting and ending in a somewhat timely manner. And in between the start and the end, making sure that anything and everything that needs to be discussed is discussed thoroughly, yet also efficiently. Then we have serving on committees. It's considered best practice in very general terms for board members to serve on at least one committee and contribute to that committee's operation and effectiveness. And this is very important, reviewing performance against goals. This is an important action of the board. In the end, because this is about vision and mission. Are we doing what we need to do to accomplish the things that we exist to accomplish? If so, how can we improve and how can we celebrate our accomplishments? And if not, how can we adjust our approach to be even more effective? And I love this one, providing expert advice and independent judgment. All our board members, we do appreciate and need your perspective so much. Your insight is valued and it matters. At the same time, there's a balance here, right? You have to be good listeners to your community and to one another, because we all have those special moments in life where our personal viewpoint isn't quite as relevant or isn't even quite as correct as what someone else might have to say. Okay, so you might be saying, this is generic stuff. It's not necessarily Jewish and it could apply to any situation. So what does this have to do with us here at Adat Shalom? And what does this have to do with Torah? Well, I'm glad you asked. Okay. This week's parasha is Va'era, the second parasha in the book of Exodus. And this is the book of the Torah that tells us about one of the most important leaders the Jewish people has ever known, and that leader is Moses. We recall that in last week's parasha, when God approached Moses and first started recruiting Moses into this key leadership role, Moses responded, not with enthusiasm, but with reluctance. Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh? What if the people don't listen to me? I'm not a man of words. How can I be a spokesman? Verily, leaders of Jewish communities to this day sometimes step forward with a measure of reluctance. And it's true, stepping into a board member role unfortunately doesn't grant a person a magically elevated status or superpowers. Sometimes it can be hard to get people to listen. All of our leaders are human and have limitations. We can keep all of this in mind, and when we experience the unfolding of these realities, we can remember we're in good company because Moses would have understood exactly where we're coming from. In a few weeks, we'll read, and still in the book of Exodus, Parashat Yitro, about the necessity of sharing leadership duties amongst a group of people, of the problems that can arise when too few people take on too much burden. We'll read in Parashat Yitro, Moses was sitting among the people, leading them in kind of a solo leadership role, and his father-in-law saw what was going on and said, "What is this that you are doing to the people? This isn't right. You will surely wear yourself out and these people as well. The task is too heavy for you. You can't do it alone. You should seek out capable leaders and empower them. Let them share the burden with you. If you do this, you'll be able to go on, and your people will be able to go home in peace." So we see here from this story, we must share the burden of leadership appropriately, not just for the good of the leaders, for the good of the community. Even if leaders might feel like they can or they should or they have to take it on themselves, that they must take it on themselves, a less than balanced distribution of leadership eventually takes its toll on the whole community. So there are two lessons I think we can take from this story in Parashat Yitro. The first is for the present, and the second is for the future. First lesson, For the present, we must do the hard work of balancing the task of leadership right away, immediately. We must immediately get into the practice of delegating, and when tasks become delegated to us, we have to step in with enthusiasm to do what our community needs from us. We must be ready to contribute not just with ideas, but with footwork, which is a lot less glamorous. We must remember that we are a team, and we don't have to just be good at leading, we also have to be good at following. So here's the second lesson. Part of what we need to do as leaders is to create new leaders, to create depth on our leadership bench. After all, it's that creation of new leadership that leads us to welcome our new board members today, Bobby, Soraya, and Charlie. And today we especially celebrate them as they step into their new roles. So Bobby, Soraya, and Charlie, we invite you now to come up to our bima. Come on up. Bobby, Soraya, and Charlie, from the very outset of your time on the board, we bless you that you have good fortune and success in leadership by creating new leaders, engaging those in our community who have joined but who haven't yet really become involved, and by identifying those who are new to our community who can support us in sharing the tasks of leadership and building our Dot Shalom community that we all want to be a part of. Okay, so now this is going to be fun. I'd like to invite up to the bima anyone and everyone who has served at any point in time on the Adat Shalom board. So if you're on the board now, if you've been on the board at any time in the past, come on up. I love this part. Oh, this is amazing. Wow. This is so beautiful. To all of you, we thank you for your dedication to our community. You've been here for us in the past, and you're still here for us today. We bless you that you always continue to serve as a resource of memory, of wisdom, and of experience to all those who today work to lead our community. Okay, so to all those who are now on the bima, I'd like to invite all of those who were on the board from 2020 until now, from pandemic times until now, to stay on the bima. Those who served on the board before that, please be seated. Right, exactly. So these are the people who haven't been on the board yet, an important. Okay. Wow. All right, so our board members from 2020 until now, I felt like this was important to highlight because for you all, you served our community and the global Jewish community at a time of immense and unprecedented stress and transition. You met challenges that no one could have dreamed of, and you implemented policies such as live streaming that continue to resonate and reverberate in our operations today. You led with courage and with ingenuity. You continue to inspire us. We bless you that you continue to lend your perspective to our community in these times that continue to unfold with unprecedented change. And to those who are on the bima now, I'd like to invite all those who are currently on the board to remain on the bima. All past board members may be seated. And come close, come close. Okay, to you all, our 2026 Board of Directors, we bless you with unity. We bless you with unity of spirit and unity of vision, that you may focus your diverse experiences, expertises, and perspectives to strengthen Adat Shalom's mission, that we may accomplish all our goals. We know that as Jews, you can pick from among any two of our members and hear at least 3 opinions. So we bless you that you are able to hear those opinions with openness of heart and discernment of mind, that you may bring us together, allowing us to find the unity as we are seeking, as we build our community, one member and one family at a time. Mazal tov, and Shabbat shalom. Be seated. Let's hear it for the board.